Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Star Trek Warp Onyx campaign, and we are going to get into specifically the Ryeshar. So this was a bottle episode, and what this means is we played this in one session, and I cannot express to you enough how powerful Modiphius 2d20 is for building out this incredible world that Gene Roddenberry brought forward. And so what I did was, this is the second adventure within our the gold player is really bringing a lot to the table, right? Like really up in the game, right? It's pretty incredible, right? Just really enjoying it, enjoying building this Star Trek world together, this Star Trek Enterprise, a new Star Trek Enterprise series, right? And also, I'm proud to present this to you, right? Like, you're getting to see a Star Trek Enterprise season 1 with different things happening, but with all the same people, with Captain Archer, Tucker, Sato, Mayweather, Phlox, T'Pol, right? And Lieutenant Security Archibald. And I'm incredibly proud to be bringing this forward. So this one was the Ryeshar, and I was so, like, I cannot express to you how freeing it is to have that Gene Roddenberry duty, put upon you, right? So what was the duty I had? So basically, I was creating a new species, a new planet, a new species, right? And the world is Ryeshar, the species is the Ryesharians. And this entire world, this entire planet is being built. This entire species is brand new. It's never been in any Star Trek movie. It's never been in any Star Trek show, but it's a part of Star Trek now. And the reason why is Modiphius has the official license. That's incredible, right? And they're saying, you go make your Star Trek stories and you present that to the world. We're permission to do it. That's astonishing. That is astonishing, right? Like, that we're being invited to create Star Trek stories, and me and the Gold Player have really done exactly that. And I'm very, proud of Star Trek Enterprise NX-01, Star Trek Warp Onyx Season 1, right? So let's get into the Ryeshars. Sorry, just last thing. It's really incredible to build an entire planet, an entire species. It's going to be encountered in one episode, and it may never be encountered again, right? And Gene Roddenberry did this, and people are like, oh, I don't like your forehead aliens. And you're like, you can kick rocks, man. Like, this was what Star Trek did. They were like, one world, one species, right? One episode, and we will move past, right? And there's so much courage in this, right? Exactly. And like, where do you see the courage in this? Look at the absolute bog awful cowardice displayed in Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power. Oh, hey, we just paid $500 million. Why don't we tell new stories? Let's see what happens next. No, let's tell trap stories, just garbage stories where, oh, is he going to be able to make the rings? Yeah, I think he's going to be able to make the rings. So what is this entire story for? Right? Like, it's, oh my gosh. All right, so like, yeah, it's astonishing. Like, so like Gene Roddenberry had the courage to say, I'll build an entire world, I'll build an entire species for one episode. Jeff Bezos don't have the courage to be like, I'll tell what happened after Frodo. He can't find his two, right? Like, is divorce that destructive to you personally? Like, it's incredible, right? Like, unbelievable. Don't tell traps. Prequels are worthless. Prequels are worthless. Prequels are worthless. They're only told by cowards. It's just, and we know this. We know this, right? We know this, right? Like, people are, oh, can we feed the audience scraps? Can we give them nothing and make money? Let's try, right? Rather than take a risk, right? Put the entire franchise on the line to do something real, right? And that's my point. Is Star Trek is putting the franchise on the line. They're moving things forward, and they caught it in the teeth for doing it with Discovery, right? But Strange New World's been awesome. Prodigy was awesome. Lower Decks is awesome. There's a lot of good, right? Picard has been really good. There's a lot of good stuff there. All right, okay, let's keep going. So the Ryeshar. Let's talk about the Ryeshar. So the Ryeshar is a water world, okay? And it has these creatures called King R's, okay? So think of a megalodon mixed with a giant octopus, and the giant octopus's tentacles all end in a deadly poisonous claw, right? So absolute sea reapers, right? So the Ryeshar are a star-faring people, and basically all their administrators, all their merchants, and everybody but fishermen and fisherwomen, right? Who go on these sail ships. Everyone lives in orbit of the planet in very high-tech space stations, okay? But the planet itself is absolutely pristine. It is perfect and unmarred. It's a ecological paradise, right? And the way they keep it this way is everyone who goes onto the planet cannot use electricity, and it's all like the age of sail, right? So like the 1700s, right? No electricity is allowed, and all the ships have to be made of wood, and they have to have like cotton. They have to have like cotton sails, right? And the people and the Ryeshar themselves, the Ryeshar are exactly like humans, but 25% larger. Their skin is pure black, right? They're much more muscular. They're born much stronger and much more muscular than humans, and they have 4 arms. Oh, and they have 4 eyes that glow, right? They have these 4 glowing eyes. Their skin is pure black, right? And they have 4 arms, and they're 25% larger than humans, and they're much more muscular. Okay, so that's the Ryeshar. And so this whole world is Moby Dick, right? Like there's just these ships, and they hunt these King R's, and then they take the meat from those King R's, they take the poison from the King R's, they take the bones from the King R's, and they sell them for tons and tons of different purposes to the Cardassians, to the Romulans, to the Vulcans, to the Ferengi, and the Ferengi even take them out to the outer periphery, right? Like so, and they're every single piece of these King R's are incredibly valuable, and this is a very rich spacefaring species whose homeworld is an ecological paradise, right? So that's the setup for the Ryeshar. And I'll continue in my next video. Thanks for your patience. So it's going to take a couple of videos to kind of tell the bottle episode of the Ryeshar. We played it in all one session, but I can't cover it in one session. So thanks for your patience. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on the awesome Star Trek Adventures Warp Onyx campaign. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like subscribing and have a fetch millennium.